So I call on Deputy Murphy then to introduce the question.
Thank you. Just to ask the Minister if he'll provide an update on the proposed bid for the Rugby World Cup.
Thank you very much. I propose to answer questions 94, 108 and 850. In November last, the Government considered a memorandum on the discussions and analysis to date on the potential bid to host the Rugby World Cup 2023. While the memorandum identified a number of challenges, the great potential of the event is also clear. And I believe that hosting the Rugby World Cup on a cross-border basis in 2023 would be a great opportunity for Northern Ireland and Ireland. Aside from the potential economic boost, the tournament would raise our international profile, not just in terms of sport and tourism, but also more widely in terms of business, trade and investment. Attracting major international events is a key element of tourism strategy on both sides of the border, and cooperation between North and South can enhance such events. In response to the memorandum, the Government expressed strong support for the proposal and for the conduct of further work to get to the stage of making a formal decision to bid. In order to progress the matter further, Minister Redcar and I met with Minister Arlene Foster, who is the Minister responsible for Tourism in Northern Ireland Executive, and Minister Carol Niquilon, who has responsibility for sport in the Executive in Armagh, on the 22nd of January. At that meeting, we agreed to establish a working group to examine some key issues further and to report back to the Ministers in the summer. The working group will hold its first meeting next Tuesday, the 25th of February.
I know that the Minister and the House will join me in wishing the Irish rugby team every success this weekend as we travel to Twickenham to face England in the Six Nations. Hosting the Rugby World Cup is a very exciting prospect for this country. And as the Minister rightly points out, it's not just for fans of rugby, but it's for everyone. There's a lot that the whole country can benefit from, north and south, for many years leading up to the Games and many years after. And just in that vein, I'd like to ask the Minister a couple of questions, because it's important that when we put together the bid, that we invest the appropriate time and money in the bid, akin to as if we were hosting the Olympics. But to ask the Minister if he's going to make additional funding available for rugby and for hosting the Rugby World Cup, in particular through the Sports Capital Grant Programme, to ask him who is sitting on the working group, what bodies are representative, and also who will chair the working group. Thank you.
Come out, Minister.
Thank you very much. First of all, I agree with the Deputy. I think this would be a great opportunity for the country. Read the Sports Capital. I want to say that this Government, and since we opened the Sports Capital, and even the funding that we provide on a yearly basis to rugby in this country. Again this year we were delighted to be able to keep through the Sports Council to keep our funding intact, so I was delighted to see that the rugby got its fair share of the national cake. In relation to the question that you asked, in relation to the chairmanship of this, tomorrow there's meetings taking place between North and South in Belfast, and an announcement will be made who will actually be chairing this committee. It's an independent chairman, and I'm delighted that he's accepted it, and we'll have to wait till tomorrow, it's with respect to our Northern Ireland colleagues, to announce that chairperson. But I think people will be pleased. He's a person of stature, and I think he will do an excellent job for the country. A number of things will have to be examined, I suppose. One of the big issues is what you asked, will there be funding put in relation to actually putting the bid together? That's some of the issues that we'll have to discuss tomorrow. We'll discuss North and South, what funding will come from the North, what funding will come from the South, what money will be needed to actually put a bid together. And that's some of the issues that this committee will be looking at.
Back to the Minister. I have to call Deputy O'Mahony and Deputy Durkin, I think.
Right.
Deputy O'Mahony.
I very much welcome the progress that's been made in this, and I compliment Minister Ring and Minister Varadkar on this initiative. I think that it shows how sport, again, it's a demonstration how it unifies, if you like, North and South, and obviously there'll be other sporting bodies along with the IRFU, the GA will be involved, and I suppose 20 or 30 years ago that wouldn't have been seen as possible. Just a couple of quick questions, observations. Just on the working group, are there going to be people from the IRFU or the sporting bodies, or are there people going to be involved from other countries in bids in the past? And just the process of application, I presume it's the IRFU that do that based on with the support of the government, and when will that actually happen?
Thank you, Deputy.
Thank you.
Mr. Ring.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Just in relation to Deputy Manning, and thank you again, and he's quite correct. Sport is certainly something that brings everybody together, and I suppose over the last 5 years with the serious economic downturn that we had, sport was the one thing that lifted the souls, the minds and the spirits of the people of this country. I want to also take this opportunity again to thank the GAA for making their facilities available, because this couldn't happen if they didn't make their facilities available. On the working group itself, there will be representatives of North and South, both governments. Also, we'll have the 3 tourism agencies, and we'll have to have representatives from the IRFU. That's one of the issues that has to be discussed. This is going to be a roadmap, how we're actually going to put the bid together. And we have to decide whether we're going to set up a company, whether we're going to make the bid, whether the IRFU is going to make the bid, or the government is going to make the bid. And that's the whole point of setting up this committee. And there will be 2 people there from the IRFU, and actually enough, they have to be there because we'll be depending on them to support us in relation to the bid. So that's what the whole point of this committee, and they will report back to both ministers, and they will report back to us before the summer. And that's the whole point of it, is to have the roadmap, to have the plan, to see what it's going to cost, to see what funding is going to come from North and South, and I suppose there's been many other issues along the way, and when that report is handed to government, we'll then make a decision on it.
Deputy Durkin.
Thank you, Lascan Corla, and thanking the Minister for his comprehensive replies. Can I ask further whether, in the context of the proposed bid, whether it be taken as a joint bid or a bid from the IRFU in jointly with somebody else, could it be indicated to the House at this stage the extent to which all the history of rugby in this country might be used as a means of ensuring the attractiveness of the various locations in this jurisdiction? And by the same token, would it be possible for the Minister to indicate the extent to which other sporting events of a similar international flavour could be used as a means of attracting tourists to this country over the next number of years?
Thank you, Minister.
Well, thank you very much. Look, Deputy Durkin, I just have to say, and part of your question is, in relation to what we'll do for the country and what we'll do for tourism. There's no doubt about it. This is one of the events that we can actually stage. And Deputy O'Mahony also raised about the GA. Of course, they will be on this committee as well. But the situation is, it is an opportunity. It's an opportunity that this country cannot let go. And I would hope that that we can make the bid. Now, there's going to be a lot of stumbling blocks along the way. There's no question about it. I mean, it's going to have to be decided, what the bid is going to, how much this government, the Northern Ireland Executive is going to put into it, but it also will determine, what other things that we're going to find, what other problems we're going to have along the way. But I think we have an opportunity. I think we should take this opportunity, and it will show the world that we can, host a major international event like this, and it will also show, I suppose, the business community that this country is well capable, and that's why we have so many multinational companies in this country, is because they know we can do what's required. We have the people, we have the educated people, we have the staff, and we're able to turn around and do whatever is required. And I have no doubt that this opportunity should not be lost, but I suppose we'll have to wait from the working group to report back to us. And as I say, tomorrow we'll be announcing the chairperson of that group, and I think people will be happy with that chairperson. He's a person of major prominence in this country, as a person that's involved very much in business, and I believe that he will be able to bring it together and do a good job for us.